Well, more parts of the saucer sub. I'll show you some of the modifications. The couches were just kind of this big block, like a like a coffin. So what I did is I cut them in half and added these little supports underneath it. And then I used 3D building. What was kind of fun about it is that once you get it built, get it like this, then you put one of these up and you fit it inside it virtually. And then what I did is I hit this and what do they call it? Basically, I erased it. I can't remember what the word is right now. It's funny, I've been using it over and over again. Basically, it's like when you want to hollow something out, you take, if it's going to be a square hollow or round hollow, you take a block or a rod or a circle, you insert it into the model so it sticks out, and then you hit, subtract, I think it's subtract, and boom, you get your hole. So that's what I did is I made one up and then set it in here and brought this in, sunk it down in there and subtracted this, boom, which contoured the piece the way I needed so to fit in there. This piece here was actually molded into this bottom here, but it was only half one. The top didn't have one. So I cut away all this away from here, so I just had the inner core. And I did the same thing because I had this detail in there that was kind of weird. Plus it also had all these weird facets when you do that. I took a ball, made it, once I get it built to this point, put a ball in there, got it just the right size, and subtracted it, boom, which cleaned this all out and all the detail with it. So, then some little doodads I made, and I thought it was fairly accurate. And then there was this video I came across called The Amazing Calypso. Just some guy did. And it was actually quite good. And he had this one picture I just happened to look up because I was working at the same time. There's a picture on National Geographic magazine. Somebody took like a 360 camera lens and took a picture looking straight down into this, like that. And you could see everything on the walls. Did I get it right? Shit, no. But, it's like all these little like valve turns and all these hoses and stuff all kind of lined up on the walls, geographically. They weren't just all wild and crazy. They're all just kind of like an Etch-a-Sketch in there. So, and this is what I ended up coming up with. So I'll probably use a lot of the same parts. I mean, this part and this part was taken out of an illustration because they were up against this wall over here. And then these tanks here, or over here, I got to reprint these tanks because I dropped it from this high, kid you not. Boom. I broke off all these, and I broke this in 4 pieces, and those parts shattered and went away. It's like, motherfucker. So what I'm going to do is thicken these up a little bit right here. That's stupid. That's easy enough to do. And here, the little film projector, because right here they have a tiny little window. I have to drill that out. But that's where they put cameras, video cameras, still cameras, and stuff like that while they're doing their expedition, which I thought was kind of cool. And I finished the hatch and temporarily glued it on. I got it really close to the original. And when it opens, it's kind of neat. I noticed in the film because it also swivels this way a little bit too. So I put little hinges on there. Just have to be careful not to break it. And it looked like that kind of on the inside. Had these 3 spoked things and of course the spinny wheel thing. So just getting it all right. Another thing I also did real quick. Oops, that fell out. Sorry. Gotta watch. I added that thing too. I'm not sure what it is, but this all had to be hollowed out in there because it was solid, or not solid, but it had a wall there because it's got tanks and things up in there, and then it has a cross beam running right down the center up to the front to the back. And then this little curved piece, I have to glue up there and finish it up there because that's part of the dome or sphere that was inside this sphere here that they made originally. So although it was more of an ellipsoid than a sphere. I can't remember how deep this thing could go. It could go deep, but not super deep. So I also noticed it had like these 3 tiny little clear domes. I don't know if they're sensors or lights, but so that's what's going on with this thing so far. It's fun. And one thing it's doing is it's teaching me how to use 3D Builder a lot, which is good because I remember even Adam Savage said, if you're going to do 3D printing stuff, that you should do something that you like. The problem is I tend to like a lot of things. So, I mean, this was hot to finish it, and I'm almost done. It's ridiculous that I stopped. Got the interior in there and everything. But you know, I got the base there, so now I can finish that. And I said, oh man, I wanted to do that Disney rocket, so I ended up making that. There was also another 3D builder, you know, kind of a test. And then when I was watching Great Lady Down, when I was working on this, they mentioned a DSRV, you know, to rescue the people in the sub. I said, oh, DSRV, I wonder if somebody makes a file for that. Hey, they do, yay, let's do that now. So it's like, jump from that to this. And for some reason, I don't know what made me think about the saucer sub. And I started looking online. There's one on there, but it's not great. But there's a friend of mine whose name I'm not going to divulge. I was asking him because I remember he was telling me about a couple of years ago about a saucer sub that he got. And so I asked him where he got it so I could buy it. I'd like to find out and buy the file from the guy. And he said that he doesn't remember who the guy was, but the guy just sent it to him, you know, for free. Probably because Randy knew it myself. You know, we've been around this business a long time. You can get gifts once you get known. You get a lot of gifts, and I'm not complaining, you know. So yeah, so he just sent me the file because he knows I'm not going to make a kid of it, and I'm not going to give it to anyone. I mean, it'll be up to him to decide if he wants to give the number. I imagine he could contact the guy if he remembers who he is and see if the guy is interested in selling the file, because he did a great job. Yeah, it's a little bit simplified here and there, but still wonderful. I mean, I haven't had to change the body or anything, just the tiny little details like interiors and stuff like that. The only reason why I'm putting this much work in this interior when all you can see through those tiny windows is because I'm going to put it on a stand and have the hatch open with the lights on so you can look in there. So, yeah, that's what's going on.